remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will but poor 1,000 crowns. And as thou sayest, charged my brother in his will to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My brother Jacques, he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his profit. For my part, he keeps me here at home. Or to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that the keeping a gentleman of my birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox. He lets me feed of his hinds, bars me the place for a brother, and as much as in him lies, minds my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam, that grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against his servitude. I will no longer endure it, though I know no wise remedy of how to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt hear or he will shake me out.
What make you here, sir?
Marry, sir, I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, I'm helping you to mar that which God made, a poor unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be naught a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well. Here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
Aye. Better than him I am before knows me. I know you're my eldest brother, and the gentle condition of blood allows you my better, but that takes not away my blood, for there are 20 brothers betwixt us. We share the same father, and I've as much of him as me as you.
What boy?
Come, older brother. You're too young in this.
Wilt they lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and he is a villain as says such a father would got villains. Were thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from my throat till thou pulled out thy tongue saying so. Thou hast railed thyself.
Prithee, masters, peace! Be at peace for your father's remembrance. Have patience.
Let me
Go, I say!
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me a good education. You've trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman, or give me the poor lottery that my father left me. With that I'll buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg? That is spent. Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will, I pray you. Leave me.
I'll no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
Get you with him, you old dog.
Old dog? Is that my reward? True, I have lost teeth in your service, but old dog? God bless my previous master. He would not have spoken such a word. Old dog. Woof! Woof, woof, woof! Old dog! Ah, woof,
Does
woof.
it even begin so? Begin you to crow upon me. I visit your rankness and give no 1,000 crowns either.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
There is no new news at court, but the old news. That is, the old Duke is banished by his younger brother, the new Duke. 2 or 3 loving lords have voluntarily followed him into exile. Their lands and revenues enriched the new Duke, therefore he gave them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the Duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
The Duke's daughter, her cousin, loves her so, being ever from their cradles bred together, that she would have followed her into exile or died to have stayed behind her. No, she is at court and as much beloved by the Duke as his own daughter. Never 2 ladies love like they do.
Can you tell, where will the old Duke live?
They say he is in the forest of Arden, and a many merry men with him, and there they live like the old Robin Hood of England. They say many a young gentleman flock to him every day, and there fleet their time like they did in the golden world.
You wrestle tomorrow before the new Duke.
Marry I do, sir, and I came to acquaint you with the matter secretly. I am given to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath disposition to come in against me to try a fall. Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love I would be loath to foil him, as I must for mine own honour if he come in. Therefore, out of love to you, I came to acquaint you with all, that you may stay him from his intendment, or brook such disgrace that it is a thing of his own doing, and altogether against my will.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I most kindly requite. I had noticed of my brother's purpose herein, and by underhand means laboured to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I'll tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger, and work best look to it. For if you disgrace himself on thee, or if he mightily disgrace himself on thee, he will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, until he has taken thy life by some indirect means or other. For I assure thee, and even with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous this day living. I speak but brotherly of him. For should I anatomise him to these ears, I must blush and weep, and thou must look pale and wonder.
I'm heartily glad I came hither to you. If he come in tomorrow, I'll give him his payment, and if he ever go alone again, I'll wrestle for prize money no more. God keep your worship!
And you, good Monsieur Charles? Alas, I shall see an end to this gamester. For my soul, yet I know not why I hate nothing more than he. He's gentle, never schooled and yet learned, full of noble device, of all sorts enchantingly beloved, especially in the heart of the world, and indeed in mine own people, who best know him that I am altogether misprized. This wrestler shall clear all. It should not be so long that I'll kindle the boy thither, which now I'll go about.
Pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of. And would you yet I were merrier? Unless you could teach me to forget a baddish father, you must not learn me how to remember an extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see, thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the Duke my father, so thou hadst been so with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love to me was so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estate, to rejoice in yours.
No, my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have. And truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken away from thy father by force, I will render thee again, in affection. By mine honour I will, and when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth I will, coz. And devise sports, let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport neither than safety of a pure blush. Thou mayst in honour come off again.
What shall be our sport then?
Let us sit, and mock the good housewife fortune from her wheel, that her gifts may henceforth be bestowed equally.
I will we could do so, for her benefits are mightily misplaced, and the bountiful blind woman doth most mistakes in her gifts to women.
No? When nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into the fire? Though nature hath given us wit to flout at fortune, hath not fortune sent in this fool to cut off the argument?
Nay, now thou goest from fortune's office to nature's. Fortune reigns in gifts of the world, not in the lineaments of nature.
Peradventure this is not fortune's work neither, but nature's, who perceiveth our natural wits too dull to reason of such goddesses, has sent this natural for our whetstone. For always the whetstone of the wits is the dullness of the fool.
How now, wit? With a one to you.
Yeah! Mistress, you must come away to your father.
You made the messenger.
By mine honour, but I was bid to come for you.
Where did you that oath for?
Of a certain knight who swore by his honour that they were good pancakes, and also swore by his honour that the mustard was naught. Now, I will swear to it. The pancakes were decent, but the mustard was naught.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
I marry now and muzzle your wisdom.
Stand you both forth now. Stroke by your chins and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery if I had it. But if you swear by that, that is I am not forsworn. No more was this knight forsworn. For if he had any honour, he'd sworn it away long before he saw those pancakes or that mustard.
Prithee, who is it that thou meanest?
The Master Frederick, your father's one you love.
My father's love is enough to honour him enough. Speak no more of him. He'll be whipped for taxation one of these days.
Aye. Wise men speak foolishly, but fools speak wisely.
By my troth, thou sayest true. Since the little wit that fools have for silence, the little foolery that wise men have, makes a great show. Here comes Monsieur Lebeau.
With his mouth full of
Which
news.
he will put on us as pigeons feed their gun.
Then shall we be news crammed.
All the better, we should be the more marketable. Bonjour, Monsieur Lebeau. How's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? Of what colour?
What colour, madame? How should I answer you?
As wit and fortune will.
As the destiny's degrees.
Well said. That was laid on with a trowel.
Nay, if I keep not my rank.
Thy nose is thy
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling which you have lost sight of.
You tell us the manner of the wrestling.
I will tell you the beginning, and if it do please your ladyships, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do in here. Where we are, they're coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning that is dead and buried.
Here comes an old man and his 3 sons.
I could match this beginning with an old tale.
3 proper young men of excellent growth and presence.
With bills on their neck, be it known unto all men by these presents.
The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which, in a moment, Charles threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, that there is little hope of life in him. Yonder they lie, the poor old man, his father making such pitiful dole over him that the beholders took his part with weeping.
Alas.
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of.
It's the first time I have ever heard of breaking ribs was a sport for ladies.
Alright, I promise thee.
But is there any else longs to see this broken music in his sides? Is there yet another dote upon rib breaking? Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must if you stay here, for here is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they're ready to perform it.
Yonder, sure they're coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Come now, since you will not be entreated by his own perilness on his coldness.
Is yonder the man? Is yonder the man?
Even he, madame!
Alas, he is too young yet to look successfully.
Daughter and cousin, are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
That you will take little delight in it. There are such odds in the man that will not be entreated. Go, ladies, see if you can move him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur Lebeau.
Monsieur the Challenger, the princess calls for you.
I attend them for respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess, he is the general challenger. I come but in as others do to try within the strength of my youth.
Young gentleman, your spirits are too bold for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. If you saw yourself with your eyes or knew yourself with your judgment, the fear of your adventure would counsel you to a more equal enterprise. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Your reputation shall not be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech me, punish ye not for hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair right and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, when if I be foiled, there is one shame that was never gracious. If killed, one dead that was willing to be so. For in the world I only fill up a place which may be better supplies when I've made it empty.
The little strength I have worry will with you.
And mine, too. Eke out has.
Go, young sir. Pray heaven I be deceived in you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come! Where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with their Mother Earth?
Ready, sir, for his birth and its more modest working.
You shall try, but one fall.
I warrant your grace shall not entreat him to a second, that have mightily persuaded him from a first.
And you mean to mock me after? You should have not mocked me before. But come your ways.
How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord!
But bear him away!
Come on, it's okay. Shh, shh. Charles, it's okay.
What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland's boys.
Or would thou have been named to some man else? Come on!
My father loves Sir Roland as his soul, and all of the world was on my father's mind. Had I before known this young man his son, I should have given him tears and to entreaties, and now he should have thus ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Good sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises, as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. One out of suit with fortune. That her hand get more, but that her hand likes means. Shall we go, Gus?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say thank you?
Because my brother with my fortune. I'll ask you what you did you call, sir? Sir, you had wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Have with you. Very well.
What passion has these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, and yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown. Or Charles, or something weaker masters thee.
Good sir. I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you've deserved high commendation, true applause and love. But such is now the Duke's condition, that he misconsiders all that you have done. The Duke is humorous. What he is indeed more suits you, more to conceive than I to speak of.
I thank you, sir. And tell me this, which of the two here was daughter to the Duke at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners. Yet indeed the lesser is his daughter. The other, his daughter to the banished Duke. And here, detained by her usurping uncle to keep his daughter company, whose loves are dearer than the natural bond of sisters. But I can tell you that of late the Duke hath taken this pleasure against his gentle niece, grounded upon no other argument but that people praise her for her virtues and pity her for her good father's sake. And on my life, his malice against the lady will suddenly break forth. Good sir, fare you well. Hereafter in a better world than this, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bound unto you, fare you well. Thus must I from the smoke into the smother, from tyrant duke to a tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind.
Why, cousin? Why, Rosaline? Cupid have mercy, not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
No. Thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lame me with reasons.
Then there were the two cousins laid up, when the one should be lame with reason and the other one mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No. Some of it is for my child's father. Ah, full of Brian's is working day well.
They are but birds, cousin, thrown upon thee in holiday foolery.
I could shake them off my coat. These birds are in my heart.
Have them away.
I would try and pry to have him.
Come, come, wrestle with thy affections.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Oh, a good wish upon you. You will try in time, in despite of a fall. But, turning these jests out of service, let us talk in good earnest. Is it possible, on such a sudden, you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Rowland's youngest son?
My father loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase, I should hate him. For my father hated his father dearly, yet I do not hate Orlando.
My faith, hate him not for my sake.
Why should I not? Did he not deserve all?
Oh, let me love him for that. And do you love him, Because I do. Oh, look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you in your safest haste and get you from our public court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin. Within these 10 days, if thou art found within 20 miles of our court, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my own fault bear with me. If with myself I hold intelligence or have acquainted with my own desires, if that I do not dream or be not frantic, as I do trust I am not, then never so much as in a numbered dream did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If purgation did consist in words, that'd be as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There! Enough!
So is that when your highness took his dukedom, so is that when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, and if we did derive that from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then good, my liege, but mistake me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Alas, Celia, we kept her for your sake, or she would have been with her father along.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself, and if you outstay the time, upon the greatest of my honour, upon my word, you die.
Why, cousin? Why, Rosaline? Cupid have mercy, not a word?
No. I have more cause to be sad.
Thou hast not, cousin. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
He hath not done that.
No, hath not. Rosaline lacks then the love which teacheth thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No, let my father seek another heir. Therefore devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us, and do not seek to take your change upon you, but to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out, for by this heaven, now our sorrow is pale. Say what thou canst. I'll go along with thee.
But why? Whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will be ahead of us? Two maids as we are, to travel full so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smack my face, the like to you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants?
Were it not better? Because that I am more than common tall, that I did suit me all points like a man? A battle axe upon my thigh, a boar spear in my hand, and in my heart lie there whatever woman's fear they will have is washing and martial outside, as many other mannish cowards have that do it faced with their semblances.
What shall I call thee, and thou as a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Charles! You call me Ganymede!
Okay.
And what will you be called?
Something that has a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish ford out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our trouble?
He'll go along over the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Now let's away, and gather our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now go we, in content, to liberty, and not to banishment.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more envious and free from peril than the envious court? I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we kill us some venison?
Indeed, my lord. The melancholy Jacques grieves at that.
Well, what said Jacques? Did he not moralise the spectacle?
Oh yes, into 1,000 similes. First, weeping upon the sodding stream. Poor dear, quoth he.
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
I did, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Come, show me the place, for I love to cope with him in these sullen fits, for then he is full of matter.
I'll bring him to you straight.
Master! Sweet master! Are you?
Who's that?
Gracious master! Oh, go not through those doors. Come. Your brother this night, he intends to burn the lodgings wherein you used to lie, and you within it.
Whither would thou have me go?
Whether or not, do not go through those doors. I have here 500 gold coins. The thrifty savings I made under your father. Here. Take these coins. They're yours. Let me be your servant. And let me go with you.
Oh, good old Adam. How well thee appears, the connoisseurs of the antique world. Your service but for duty, not for meed. We shall not enforce a thievish living on the common roads.
No. Go forth, I shall follow you until my last gasp, with honesty and truth and loyalty. Go.
Nay, cannot for my spirits. My legs are not weary.
I could find in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel, but I must comfort the weaker vessel. Therefore courage, good Aliena.
I cannot go no further. I pray you bear with me.
For my part, I would rather bear with you than bear you. Yet if I did bear with you, I should bear no cross. If you have no money in your purse.
Well, this is the Forest of Arden.
Aye, the Forest of Arden, the mournful light. When I was at home, I was at a better place. Yet, travellers must be content.
Aye, be so, good touchstone. Be so. Oh, look here who comes here, a young man in an old and a solemn talk.
Corin, that thou knewest how I do love her! I partly guess, for I have loved her now. No, Corin, being old thou canst not guess. So in thy youth thou was as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. How many actions most ridiculous hast thou been
drawn into by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Then thou hast not loved so heartily. Thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd, searching of thy rooms, I have by hard adventure find mine own.
And mine own. I remember when I was in love, I broke my sword upon a stone and bid him take that to Jane's smile.
Thou speakest wider than thou art aware of.
Nay, be aware of mine own till I break my own shins against it.
Now, Jove, this shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And my fashion, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you question yon man if he for gold or give us seafood?
Aye.
I think it's almost to death.
Hi, you clown!
Peace, Godful, his non-dead kinsman.
Who calls?
You're better, sir.
Peace, Godful.
Else are they very wretched. Good event to you, sir. And to you, good sir. And to you all.
I prithee, shepherd, if in this desert place can love or gold by entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed.
But I am shepherd to another man. By reason for his absence there is nothing.
What is he that shall buy his flock and pasture?
That young swain that you saw here but erewhile, the little cares for buying anything.
I pray you, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, the flock, and the pasture, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages.
I will your very faithful fee to be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Under the greenwood tree, who will sit with me and sing a merry note unto the songbird's throat? Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here you'll see no enemy, only winter and rough weather. Come hither, come hither, come hither.
More, I prithee more.
More at your request than to please myself.
Well then, if ever I'll thank any man, I'll thank you. But that they call compliment is like the encounter of two dog apes. And when a man thanks me heartily, methinks I've given him a penny, and he renders me the beggarly thanks. Come, Warble, come.
I will end the song. Sirs, cover the while. The Duke will drink under this tree. He hath been this long day to look you.
I have been all this day to avoid him. He is far too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Will you sing?
Here you'll see no enemy, only winter and rough weather. Come hither, come hither, come hither.
I'll go to sleep if I can.
I'll seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared. Master, I can go no further. I can go no further, Master. For want of food. Here I will dig my grave, and here I will lie.
Come on, Adam. No greater heart in thee.
I can't.
Live a little.
I'm dying.
Comfort a little. Cheer thyself a little.
I can't, master.
If there live anything in this forest, I will either be food for it or bring it for food to thee.
Oh.
I'll bear thee to a shelter. Thou shalt not die for a lack of food.
Oh, I die for food.
No, you won't.
I die for food.
I think he'd be transformed into a beast, for I can no longer find him like a man.
My lord, he is but even now gone hence. Here was he merry, hearing of a song.
If he, compact of Giles, grow musical, then we shall have shortly discord in the spheres. Go, seek him. Tell him that I would speak with him.
He saves my labour with his approach.
How now, monsieur? What a life is this that your friends must woo your company? What? You look merrily.
A fool. A fool. I met a fool in the forest. A miserable world, a motley fool. As I do live by food, I met a fool who basked him down and laid him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he, call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like Chanticleer, that fools should be so deep contemplative. And I did laugh. Saw an intermission, an hour by his dial. O noble fool, a worthy fool, motley's the only wear.
What fool is this?
A worthy fool, one that hath been a courtier, and says things like, if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he hath strange places crammed with observation, the which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool! I'm ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It's my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments of all that grow rank in them, that I am wise.
I know what thou wouldst do.
What for a counter would I do but good?
Most mischievous foul sin, enchiding sin, for thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as the brutish thing itself.
Who come here? Forbear, and eat no more.
Why, I have eaten none yet.
Nor shall not to necessity be served.
Art thou thus boldened, man, by thy distress? Or else a rude despiser of good manners that in civility seems so empty?
You touched my vein at first. The thorny point of their distress has taken from me the smooth show of civility. Yet I'm in land bred and no sun nurture. But forbear, I say, he dies to touch any of this food till I and my affairs are answered.
And you will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Set yourself down, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you, I thought all things had been savage here. That gentleness my strong enforcement be. Therefore I blush and hide my sword.
True it is that we have seen better days. Therefore set your gentleness down, and take upon command what help we have, that your wanton may be ministered.
Then forbear your food but a little while. There is a poor old man who asked me if limps many a step in pure love. He's weakened by two evils, age and hunger. Till he first is fed, I will not touch a bit.
Go find him out, and we will waste nothing till you return.
Thank you, and me bless your good comfort.
Thou seest that we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. First, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping unwillingly to school. And then the lover, with woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier. Jealous nonna, sudden, quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cape and lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age, shift into the lean and slippered pantaloon. Spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice, tongue again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, to end this strange eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans taste, sans eyes, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burden and let him feed.
Thank you most for him.
Oh, I can thank. I could scarcely speak for thanking you myself.
Welcome. Fall to.
Oh.
I will not trouble you to as yet to question you about your fortunes. If that you are the Sir Good Roland's son as you have whispered faithfully in my ear, give me your hand and let me all your fortunes understand.
Not seen him since. But look to it. Find him, brother, whereso he is. Seek with a candle, dead or living, within 12 months, or seek no more to be living within our territory. Thy lands are worth seizure, and we do seize in our hands. Just find them for you, brother.
Oh, if your highness knew my heart in this, I have never loved my brother in my life.
More villain than now. Well, push him out of doors, and make my officers of such nature make an extend upon his house and lands, do this expeditially, and turn him going!
Hang there, my verse, the witness of my love. And thou, thrice crowned queen of night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above, thy huntress's name that my full life doth sway. Oh, was it light? These trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts are character. For every eye in which this forest looks shall see thy name witnessed everywhere. Run, Orlando, carve on every tree, the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
How you like this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it's a good life. But in respect that it is a shepherd's life, I like it not. In respect that it is solitary, I like it very well. But in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. Has any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more, but that I know. The more one sickens, the worse it eases. That he hath learnt no wit by nature, nor I may complain of good breeding, or comes of a very dull kindred.
Such a one is a natural philosopher.
Yeah.
Was there over in court?
No, truly.
then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Minstance, briefly, come instance.
Why, we are still handling our ewes, and their bells, you know, are greasy. Here comes Master Ganymede.
From the east to western end, now Jove is like Rosalind. Her worth being mountained on the wind, through all the world as Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no faith be kept in mind with the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted. 'Tis the right butter woman's rank to market.
Out, fool!
If the heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. If cat be after kind, such a cat is Rosalind. These are the very false scant of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dog fool. I found them on the tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Then I shall gruff it with you, and then I will gruff it with a meddler, and then it will be the earliest fruit in the country, for you'll be half ripe, and half rotten, and will be the right side of the meddler.
You have said! But whether rightly or no, let the forest decide.
Here comes my sister reading. Stand aside!
Why should this a desert be? For it isn't peopled? No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree that shall civil sayings show. Some, how brief the life of man runs his erring pilgrimage, that the stretching of a span buckles in his sum of age. Some, of violated vows, twixt the souls of friend and friend, but upon the fairest boughs, or at every sentence end, will I Rosalinda write, teaching all that read to know, the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would and little show. Therefore heaven, nature charged, lady should be filled, with all graces wide and large, nature presently distilled. Helen's cheek, but not her heart, Cleopatra's majesty, Atlantis' better part, sad Lucretia's modesty. Thus Rosalind, of many parts, by heavenly synod was devised, of many faces, eyes, and hearts, to have the touch his dearest prized. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave.
Oh, most gentle pulpiter! What have you worried you parishioners withal, and never pray have patience, good people?
Oh no! Back, friends. Shepherd, go off a little. Sarah, go with him.
Aye. Oh, come on, shepherd.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes, I heard them all, and more too.
But didst thou hear, without wondering, how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck? Change you colour.
I prithee who?
I faith, cuz, 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Alas, what shall I do with my hose and doublet? What did he when thou sowed him? How looked he? Where remains he? What parted he with thee? When thou shalt see him again, where remains he? What makes him here? Did he ask for me? No, answer me in one word. No. I have more questions. Doth he know I am in the forest, in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as the day he
I
wrestled?
found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
He may be well called Jove's fruit, when it drops but such fruit.
Give me audience, good madam.
Proceed.
There lay he, stretched along like a wounded knight.
That would be a pity to see such a sight, it well becomes the ground.
Call hollow to thy tongue, I prithee, it covets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, Midas, he comes to kill my heart. Tis he! Swing by and Newton!
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief been myself alone.
So would I, but yet for fashion's sake, I do thank you for your society.
God buy you, let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may become better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses of weeding well favourably.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
What? There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress, the world, and all our misery?
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
It is not a fault I would change for your best virtue. Oh, I'm weary of you.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like his saucy lackey, and in another habit, play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forrester?
Very well, what would you?
What says the clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest. Else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time, as well as a clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Had that not been as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels at diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time amble withal, who time trots withal, who time gallop withal, and who he stands still withal.
I prithee, who does he trot withal?
Marry, he trots hard with a young maid between the contract of her marriage and the date is solemnized. If the interim be but a sea night, time-space is so hard that it seems the length of 7 years.
Who does time amble withal?
With a priest that likes Latin, and a rich man that hath not the gout. When the one sleeps easily because he cannot study, and the other one lives merrily because he feels no pain. The one lacking lean and waits for learning, and the other one knowing no burden of heavy, tedious penury. This time amble withal.
Who does time gallop withal?
With a thief to the gallows. For though he can go as swiftly as thought can fall, he thinks himself too soon there.
Who stays it still withal?
With lawyers in the vacation, because they sleep permanently between term, and then they perceive not how time moves.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, my sister. Here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon petticoat.
Are you native of this place?
As the coney that you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer than you could have purchased in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, indeed. But it is an old religious uncle of mine who told me to speak, who in his youth was an inland man, who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am no woman to be touched by so many giddy offences as he hath. Johnny taxed the whole sex withal.
Can you remember any of the principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal, they were all like one another as husbands are, every one full seeming monstrous till his fellow folk came to match it.
I prithee, recount some of them.
No. I will not cast away my physics, but on those who are sick. There is a man who haunts this forest, who abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind, and ode upon hawthorns and allergies and brambles. If I could meet that fencing monger, I could give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaped. I pray thee, what is your remedy?
There is none of my uncle's marks upon you, and he told me how to know men in love. In which cage of rushes I am sure you are not a prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not, a blue eye and sunken, which you have not, an unquestionable spirit, which you have not, a neglected beard, which you have not, but I pardon you for that, for you having in beard is a younger brother's revenue. And then your hoe should be ungattered, your bonnet unbanded, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather upon device in your accoutrements as loving yourself than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it! Me believe it! You may as soon make her that you love believe it, which I warrant she is apter to do than to confess she does. That is one of the points in which women still give the lie to their consciences. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the poems on trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am he.
And are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, ha ha! I tell you, and deserves as well a dark house and a whip, as madmen do. And the reason why it is not so cured and punished is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. And yet, I profess curing it by counsel.
Oh, did you ever cure any, sir?
Yes, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I be but a moonish youth, grieved, be effeminate, changing, longing and liking, proud, apish, fantastical, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smile, would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, then weep for him, then spit at him, that I drive my suitor from his mad humour of love to a living humour of madness. And this way will I take upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there shall not be a spot of lum in it.
I would not be cured, good youth.
I would cure you, if you would. But call me Rosaline and come every day to my court and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it. And I'll show it to you, and you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Would you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister. Will you go?
Come apace, good Audrey. Oh, fetch your goats, Audrey. Tell now, Audrey. Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features, Lord warrant us, what features?
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most honest of it was, with among the Goths.
Knowledge uninhabited, worse than Jove in a thatched house.
When a man's verses cannot be understood, nor a man's good wit, seconded with the full child, understanding, it strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in a little room. Truly, I wish the gods had made thee more poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest indeed in word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly. For it is said what lovers say in poetry, they do feign.
Do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
No. For honesty, coupled with beauty, is honey a sauce to sugar.
A material fool.
Would you not have me honest?
No. To cast honesty on such a foul slut would be to put meat in an unclean dish.
I am not a slut, although I thank the gods I am foul.
Praised be for thy foulishness. Sluttishness may come hereafter.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Amen. Here comes Sir Oliver Martex for the next village over. He's come to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting.
Sir Oliver Martex, you're well met.
Is there no one here to give the woman?
I will not take her on the gift of any man. Truly she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed, proceed. I'll give her. Will you be married, Motley?
As Yacht hath his bow, sir.
Go thou with me and let me counsel thee.
No. Come, Audrey. Oh, gentle Audrey, oh, sweet Audrey. Farewell, Sir Oliver. Be gone, I say, farewell, I say.
'Tis no matter. Never a fantastical knave of them all shall flout me out of my calling.
Never talk to me, I weep!
Do, I prithee, but yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
Have I no cause to weep?
As good cause as one would desire, therefore weep.
His hair is of the very resembling colour.
Something browner than Judas's. Marry, his kisses are Judas's own children.
My faith, his hair is of a good colour.
An excellent colour. Your chestnut was ever the only colour.
And his kissing is as full of sanctity as the touch of holy bread.
He hath bought a pair of cast lips of Diana, and none of Winter's sister kisses not more religiously. Very ice of chastity is in them.
Then why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly. There is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes. I think he is not a pick-purse nor a horse-stealer, but for his verity in love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet, or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love.
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
But you saw him ride down forswear he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They are both the confirmer of false reckonings. He attends here in the forest on the Duke, your father.
I met with the Duke yesterday, and had much question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was, so I told him of as good as he. So he laughed and let me go. But why the world, father, when there is such a man as a landowner?
Oh, that's a brave man. He speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, writes brave verses, swears brave oaths again and breaks them bravely. Why traverse? I thought the heart of his lover is a puny tilter that spans his horse but on one side, rakes his staff like a noble goose, and all's brave that youth mounts and folly guides.
No, come, let us remove the sight of love feedeth those in love.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You seem like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived. And I thank God I'm alive. You're too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. 1, 2, 3.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Say you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. Sweet Phoebe, if ever, as ever may be near, you shall know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
Until that time, come thou not near me. When that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks, but pity me not. For when that time comes, I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What though you have no beauty? Must you be therefore proud and pitiless? I see no more in you than in the ordinary of nature's say work. 'Tis not your inky brows, nor your yellow silk hair, nor your boggle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can entertain my spirits to your worship. And you, foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her like foggy south puffin with wind and rain? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she a woman.
Sweet youth, I pray you, chide a year together. For I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He fell in love with your foulness, and she fell in love with my anger.
I pray you! I mean you no harm!
I pray you, do not fall in love with me! For I am falser than vows made in wine. And besides, I like you not. Ganymede!
Sweet Phoebe!
What now, Sylvius?
Sweet Phoebe! Pity me!
Oh, Sylvius, I feel sorry for thee.
Where sorrow is, relief would be. By giving love, both your sorrow and my grief were both extermined.
Thou hast my love, is that not neighbourly?
I would have you.
Why, that were covetous, Sylvius. Time was that I hated thee, and now it's not that I bear thee love, but since thou speaks of love so well, thy company which e'er was irksome to me, I shall enjoy, and employ thee too, but thou must not look for further recompense than the simple gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and pure is my love, and I in such a poverty of grace, I shall consider it the most plenteous crop to reap the broken ears after the man the main harvest reaps. Loose now and then a scattered smile I'll live upon.
Knowest thou the youth that was here erstwhile?
Not well, but I have met him oft. He bought the cottage and the bounds that the old Carlot was master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask after him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, though he speaks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when those that speaketh
pleaseth those that hear. Oh, he's a bit pretty, but not too pretty. And sure, he's proud, but pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. Oh, the best thing about him is his complexion. Oh, and faster than his tongue did make offence, his eyes did clear it up. He's not very tall, yet for his years he's tall. His length is but so, but he wears it well. There be some women, Sylvius, had they put in parcels as I had done, would have fallen in love with him. For me, I love him not, nor hate him not. Yet have more cause but to hate him, for what was he to chide at me? He said my eyes were black and my hair was yellow! And he scorned at me. I marvel why I answered not again. Admittance is no quittance. I'll write him a taunting letter, and thou wilt bear it, wilt thou, Sylvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I'll be bitter and passing short. Go with me, Sylvius.
Pretty youth, have you be better acquainted with thee?
They say you're a melancholy fellow.
Yes, this is true. I do love it more so than laughing.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable fellows, and betray themselves to every modern stencher, worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then, 'tis good to be opposed.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which is politic, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all these. It is a melancholy of mine own, extracted of many simples, compounded of many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, in which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
Hey, traveller! By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. You have sold your own lands to see other men, and to have seen much and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I have rather had a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad, and to travel for it too.
Good day and happiness.
Nay then, God buy you, you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Monsieur Traveller, lick your lisp and wear strange suit, or I will scare thing you some in a gondola. Shoo. Why now? How now, Orlando? You? A lover? And you serve me such another trick, never come more in my sight.
Fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love.
Pardon me, fair Rosalind.
Nay. And you be so tardy, never come more in my sight. I had as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head.
Virtue is no warmaker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
Pleases him to call you, sir, but he the Rosalind of a better leer than you.
Come, woo me. For now I am in a holiday humour and like enough to consent. What would you say to me if I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay. You were better speak first, and then when you were graver for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins your matter.
Who could be out, being before his beloved mistress?
Mary, that should you. Or I should think my honesty ranker than my wit.
What of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, and yet out of your suit. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some pleasure to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her place, I say I will not have you.
I will not have my right Rosalind of this find, for I protest. Her frown might kill me.
By this hand it will not kill a fly. But come, I will be your Rosalind in the more coming in this position. Ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Aye, faith will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
I ain't any such.
What sayest thou?
Were I not good?
I hope so.
Why then can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister. You shall be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What say thou, sister?
I cannot say the words.
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Go to! Will you, Orlando, to this Rosalind? Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why now, as soon as she can marry us?
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
Now tell me for how long you would have her after you possessed her.
For forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
For these 2 hours I must leave thee, Rosalind.
Alas, dear love, I cannot like this 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock I'll be with thee again.
Aye. Go your ways. Go your ways. 2 o'clock is your hour then.
Aye, Rosalind.
By my troth, and in good earnest, and by all oath and are not dangerous, if you break 1 jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her that you call Rosaline out of the gross bed of the one thing. Therefore, beware my censure, and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So would you.
You have simply misused our sex in your love rate. You must have your doubles and hers plucked over your head and show the world what the bird had done to her own nest.
Oh, cars, my pretty little cars, that thou didst know how much deep fandom I am in love. My love hath an unknown bottom, like the Bay of Portugal.
Oh, rather bottomless. But as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
No, I'll tell thee, Aliena. I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sight till he come.
Now sleep.
What say you now? Is it not past 2 o'clock? And here much Orlando.
Aren't you? Of pure heart and troubled brain, he had taken his bow and arrows and is gone forth to sleep. Look, who comes here?
My owners to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe did bid me give you this. I know not the contents.
Patience herself would stutter at this letter and play the swaggerer. Her love is not the hare that I do hunt. Well, shepherd, well. This letter is of your own device.
I protest it is hers. I know not the contents.
Come, come, you're a fool and turn into the extremity of love. I say she never did invent this letter. This is a man's invention and his writing.
Sure, it is hers.
Why then, 'tis a boisterous and cruel style. Will you hear the letter?
I've not heard it yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
Mark how the tyrant writes. She freebers me daily mead. Art thou got to shepherd's stand, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
Why thy Godhead laid apart, whereas thou with a woman's heart, blah blah blah.
Call
blah,
you
blah,
this
blah, blah.
chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? What, to make thee an instrument and play false strings upon thee? If you be a true lover, hence, but not a word, for here comes more company.
Pray you, fair ones, if you know wherein the palace of this forest stands, a sheepcote fenced about with olive trees.
West of this place, down by the neighbour bottom, the rank of osiers by the murmuring stream, left on your right hand brings you to the place, but at this hour the house did keep itself. There's none within.
If I may profit by a tongue, then I should know you by description. Such garments and such years, the boy is fair, of female favour, and bestows himself like a ripe sister. The woman low and browner than her brother. Are not you the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast, being asked to say we are.
The young Orlando doth command him to you both, and to that youth he calls you Rosalind, he asks for this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame if you know of what man I am, and where and how and why this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When last young Orlando parted from you, he promised to return again within the hour, pacing through the forest, chewing the foods of sweet and bitter fancy. Lo or fell. He threw his eye aside and marked what object to present itself. Underneath an oak, whose boughs were mossed with age and high-top bald with dry antiquity, a wretched, ragged man, overgrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. A lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay crouching, head on ground with cat-like watch, when that the sleeping man should stir. For 'tis the royal disposition of the beast to prey on nothing that does seem as dead. This scene, Orlando took a closer look and found it to be his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother. He did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
Well, he might well do so, for I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did you leave him here, food to the sucked and hungry lioness?
Twice did he turn his back and propose so. But kindness, nobler than revenge, and a just occasion made him give battle to the lioness. Who quickly fell before him, in which, hurting from a miserable slumber, I awaked.
Are you his brother?
Was he rescued?
Was it you that did so often contrive to kill him?
'Tis I, but do not shame to tell you what I am since my conversion. But so sweetly taste being the thing I am.
But for the bloody napkin!
By and by, when from the first to last betwixt us two, tears are a countenance as most kindly bathed in how I came into this desert place. In brief, he bred me to a gentle duke who gave me fresh and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love, who there instantly led me to his cave, and upon his arm the lioness had torn some flesh away, and all the while had bled and fainting, and he cried in fainting upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wounds, and being strong at heart, stranger as I am, he sent me hither, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to tell that youth he does in sport court his Rosalind.
Oh. Wait, no, Ganymede! Sweet Ganymede!
Many will swoon when they do look on the sight of
There's
blood.
more in it. Cousin Ganymede?
Look, he recovers.
I would have word home. We'll lead you thither. I pray you, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth.
You're a man.
You lack a man's heart.
I do so, I confess it. Sirrah. This body would think that was well counterfeited. I pray you commend my counterfeiting to you, brother. Hey ho!
That was not counterfeit. There was too great testimony and complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take good heart and be counterfeit to be a man.
My faith, I should have been a woman by right.
Come, you look paler and paler. I pray you draw homewards. Good sir, will you go with us?
That I will, for I am best to answer back to my brother. How you excuse my brother Rosalind?
I shall devise something, but I pray you, commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
We shall find the time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey.
Faith, the priest will be good enough for all the old gentlemen say.
A most vile Oliver, Audrey. A most vile Martex.
thought as a little acquaintance you should like her? And liking love, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant? And will you persevere to enjoy her?
Neither call it the giddiness of in question, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Aliena. Say with her that she loves me. Consent with both that we may enjoy each other. For it shall be your good. For the house, and all that was also Roland's, will estate upon you. And here live and die as shepherd.
You have my consent. Let it really be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all his followers. You should go prepare Aliena. Look you, here comes my Rosaline.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, Orlando, how grieves me to see thy heart in the scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but in the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how well I counterfeit it when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are. For your brother and my sister no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but asked one another the reason. No sooner knew the reason, they sought the remedy. They are in the very wrath of love, and they will together. Clubs cannot part them.
They're to be married tomorrow, and I'll bid the Dukes the nuptial. But how bitter a thing it is to look at happiness through another man's eyes.
Why then can I not be your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you no longer with idle talking. Know of me then, because that I speak to some purpose, and I know you're a man of good conceit. If you do love Rosalind so near the heart, as your jester cries it out, when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do, which I tender daily, for though I am a magician. Therefore, put you in your best array, bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will. Oh, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
Sweet youth, you have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem ungentle and despiteful to you. You are there followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him. Love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
'Tis all to be made of sighs and tears, as am I for Phoebe.
As am I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
'Tis all to be made of faith and service, as am I for Phoebe.
As am I for Ganymede.
As am I for Rosalind.
I for no woman.
'Tis all to be made of fantasy, as am I for Phoebe.
As am I for Ganymede.
As am I for Rosalind.
And as am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, or doth not hear.
No more, I pray you. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. I would content you, if I can. I would love you, if I could. As, please, meet me all together. I will marry you, if I ever marry woman, and I shall be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you, if I ever satisfy man, and I shall be married tomorrow. I will content you, if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I will meet. So fare you well, I have left your commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
All right.
Today is the joyous day, Audrey. Today we will be married.
I do desire it with all my heart, and I hope it's no dishonest desire to be a woman of the world.
As do I, Audrey. Dost thou believe that the boy Orlando can do all that he hath promised?
sometimes do believe and sometimes do not, as those that hope they fear and know they fear.
Patience once more as I come back to that. You say if I bring in your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here.
That would I had I kingdoms to give of her.
And you say you will have her if I bring her.
That would I, were I of all kingdoms king.
You say you marry me if I be willing.
That I will, or die the hour after.
Or else refusing me, you will give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
That's the bargain.
You say you have Phoebe if she will.
But to have her and death were the same thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even. Keep your word, O Duke, to give your daughter. You yours, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else refusing me to wed this shepherd. And keep your word, Silvius, that you'll marry Phoebe if she refuse me. And now I have promised to make all this out even.
There is sure another flood toward, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here come a pair of very strange beasts, which in all times are called fools.
Greeting and salutation to you all.
Good my lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman that I have so often met in the forest. He hath been a courtier, he swears.
And if any man doubt that, let me put him to my purgation. I have been smooth with mine enemy. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with a friend. I have fought 4 quarrels, and I like to have fought one.
And how was that taken up?
Upon the 7th cause.
The 7th cause. How did you find quarrel upon the 7th cause?
Upon a lie 7 times removed.
7th cause. Good my lord, like this fellow?
I like him very well.
Good you, sir. I desire you of the like.
By my faith, he is very swift and sententious.
Isn't he a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good as anything and yet a fool.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. And to you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and sound be true, my love adieu.
I'll have no father, if you be not he. I'll have no husband, if you be not he. Nor never wed a woman, if you be not she.
Oh, my dear niece. Welcome, welcome thou art to me, even daughter. Welcome in no less degree.
I'll eat my words now thou art mine. Your flight my fancy, thus divide.
Out of these convertites there is much matter to be heard and learned. You to your former honour I bequeath. Your patience and virtue well deserves it. You to a love that your true faith doth merit. You to land and love and great allies. And you to a well-deserved bed. And you to wrangling, for thy loving voyage is but for 2 months victualled. So to your pleasures I am for other than for dancing pleasures.
Stay, Jacques, stay.
To see no pastime I, what you all have to know I'll stay, at your abandoned cave.
Proceed, proceed. We'll begin these rites, as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, that between you and the women the play may please. When I make my courtesy, bid me farewell.